I've made a lot of videos on why athletes go broke, and they typically involve a high-profile player. The stories that are the easiest to make are big-named athletes talking about making millions and spending recklessly. The GQ How I Made My First Million videos are fun, but those generally focus on athletes that are going to have a nice career and earn enough money where it will be legitimately challenging to go broke. Today, we're going to focus on a first-round pick to the NBA just a couple years ago and how he may be on a path to financial struggle. Since I know some of you will be new to the channel, I make these videos to help show how easy it is for athletes to face financial struggles after their playing days in hopes that it will help future athletes not face the same problems. I still see comments about pocket watching or something. Most fans see professional athletes and think they're set for life after making the league, but the reality is that most will face financial struggle after their playing days. My hope is that my videos can help some future athletes avoid the pitfalls that past athletes have succumbed to. I saw some posts about a former Purdue standout, Caleb Swanigan, pleading guilty to marijuana possession, and it caught my eye. Not because of a former athlete getting in trouble, but because of how the guy in the video looked nothing like a former professional basketball player. For those of you interested in body types and fitness, it's really interesting looking at the NBA draft combine results for body fat percentage. Most of the kids entering the draft are sub 6% body fat, with the lowest going as low as around 4% and the highest around 8%. There's typically only 1 or 2 outliers above 10% body fat. If you don't know body types well, sub 10% body fat is really lean. Under 6% is bodybuilder in shape level. These guys are so ridiculously lean, it's nearly unhealthy. I've been told that players in the league will generally lose about 20 pounds over the course of the season because of how difficult it is for them to maintain weight. When I see a former player looking like this, I know there are some serious problems going on in his life. Caleb played in the NBA for a couple of seasons. In order to be in playing shape, you have to be sub 10% body fat to be able to withstand the wear and tear of a full NBA season. I didn't recognize his name, and after a little bit of research, I see that he was drafted in 2017. Caleb Swanigan was selected 26th overall by the Portland Trail Blazers in the 2017 NBA draft. Caleb last played on March 10th, 2020 for the Portland Trail Blazers in a game against the Phoenix Suns, playing 11 minutes coming off the bench. It was only 9 months later that he was arrested for possession of marijuana and appeared to have already put on weight in his mugshot. This video was only 14 months after playing in the NBA. Hard to believe. It's easy to look at professional athletes and think they have it all. Money, fame, women, sports cars, awesome life. 1, that's really only a portion of the league, and 2, these guys are still human too. These guys struggle with anxiety, depression, and emotional issues just like some of their biggest fans do. It's easy to think that just because their W-2 pay stubs are much bigger than ours that they don't have any problems. In some ways, what they deal with is much more difficult than what we deal with. Some of these guys have the pressure of supporting entire families and extended families, friends, and kids. Some have a breakup go public all over social media. Some aren't comfortable with the constant spotlight being on them. And oh yeah, I hope you can perform night in and night out against the best in the world. Caleb earned $5.1 million during his 3 years playing in the NBA. He played in Portland, Oregon for the Trailblazers and in Sacramento, California for the Kings. Unfortunately for him, he played for teams in states with really high state income tax. An easy number that's reasonably accurate is to assume 50% of his income went to taxes, agent, and other various fees. Here's a funny side note for professional sports. Look at the 2021 NFL draft. Lawrence gets drafted to a team with no state income tax, pretty affordable living, and a new closet full of jean shorts. The next 2 quarterbacks are going to New York and San Francisco. If these guys are making $10 million a year, Lawrence will keep around $600,000 more per season than the other 2 just based on not having to pay state income tax on home games. Alright, back to Caleb. Over 3 years, his net income would be around $2.6 million, which averages out to $867,000 per year. The reason why it's so easy for athletes to go broke after their playing days is that's not a lot of money. I know, you may have student loan debt or may want a new $25,000 car, or you may just want to buy a new house and can't afford it. $2.6 million may sound like a lot, but it's not. If the athlete invests his money as he earns it, then yes, it is a lot of money. But consider this. Caleb was the number 19 basketball player out of high school, even winning the coveted Player of the Year in Indiana. He played at Purdue, a great basketball school. He was drafted 26th overall out of college. He played in the NBA for 3 years. This is an athlete that reached the top of their profession. He was the best at every level. He reached the pinnacle of his profession, and his career is over at 24 years old. There are no more paychecks from the one thing he was great at. This money has to last him and his family the rest of their lives. Think about inflation. If he has $2 million in cash sitting in a bank and has to support multiple people for the next 50 years, how quickly do you think that cash will be gone? These guys are generally feeding and housing more than one person. They're supporting multiple people. As sad as it is, a professional athlete from a low income area is a meal ticket for a lot of people. $2.6 million sounds like a lot, I get it, but it's a little less than $900,000 per year. I don't know Caleb, so I don't know how much he spent on living expenses during his playing career, but these guys can easily live a life of spending $10,000 every month. Easily. His career was 36 months total. Even if he was only spending $10,000 every month, that's $360,000 spent. If I was a player like Caleb who got drafted in the first round, made around $5 million over 3 years, and whose playing career was done after 3 years, how would I invest my money? To make the numbers simple, let's plan on having $900,000 per year in net income. These guys will generally rent a condo close to the arena during the season, so we can allocate at least $4,000 per month for total living expenses. That's $48,000 per year. A guy of his size will need a large vehicle. I'd buy used personally. Here's a 2018 GMC Yukon for $45,000. Tinted windows so you can't see in. Let's use a simple estimate of $75,000 per year for personal expenses, entertainment, vacations, and rent for your side girlfriend. Add another $25,000 for your buddy from college who acts as your assistant. Let's just estimate $150,000 per year in total personal expenses. That leaves us with around $750,000 to invest. If I was a professional athlete, I would never buy a house. They get traded so frequently that it would be too much of a headache and liability. Even Caleb got traded twice in his 3 seasons. I know it sounds boring, but at that income level and while still on a rookie deal, I would put all the money into index funds. Safe, reasonably liquid if needed, and most importantly, once the money is invested, you no longer have money to give to your friend's business plan or pay your cousin's best friend's light bill. When they hit you up, hey Spencer, I want to invest in this new cryptocurrency that never goes down in price. You can be like, I have no cash, it's all invested, sorry. One thing we forget is these kids start playing in the NBA when they're around 20 years old. Think back when you were 20 and imagine having $50,000 hit your bank account every 2 weeks. It's hard to understand just how much money that is when you're that young and that it won't be coming in forever. If Caleb was to invest a good portion of his net income, then he'd have $1.5 million to $2 million in the stock market. Assuming a safe withdrawal rate of 3%, he'd have about $60,000 per year to live off of. We see these huge contracts that these guys are signing nowadays, but plenty of pros can't afford mansions. $60,000 per year is a livable income just off the dividends or returns, but my guess is the lifestyle, even for former pros, is much higher than $5,000 every month, which means they'll need another income source after their playing days. It's really sad seeing this video. This is not someone that's doing well post playing days. What bothers me most about the weight loss experts on social media is that no one seems to understand why people balloon up. Gaining significant amounts of weight like Caleb has isn't a food problem. The most common tactic is to immediately tell them they're eating too much and prescribe diets that won't work. You gotta eat a salad, you gotta eat your omega-3s at dinner, and don't eat too many carbs. Gaining weight comes from stress and unresolved emotional problems, bad breakup, divorce, trouble with managing kids, financial problems, losing a job, not being able to earn a second contract, anxiety, whatever. People turn to comfort food because it makes you feel good when times are bad. You don't balloon in weight when everything is good in life. And second, you gain weight to this level when you binge eat. Binge eating generally occurs because it's a safety net and provides good endorphins in your brain or whatever, basically makes you feel good when other aspects of life are making you feel bad. That's Dr. Cornelia's non-scientific prescription. Caleb's weight won't go back down until that stress is gone or he's able to solve whatever is bothering him in life. The police report said he had 3.4 pounds of marijuana on him, which seems like an amount far greater than needed. I've never been around someone who was like, hey, let's go pick up pounds of marijuana for tonight's dinner and a movie at my place. I really hope that there was a misunderstanding about why he had that much on him, and I very much hope that he is not selling or distributing. I think weed should be legalized everywhere. It's kind of absurd that it isn't, but if it's illegal on the dirt you stand on, then it's probably smart not to do it. He might be sitting on cash because a lot of these young athletes don't start investing until they're older or after their second contract. My hope is he finds the right people to be around, because getting arrested in Whitley County, Indiana is not my idea of a successful post-playing career. I hope he's not on the path to being another statistic of an athlete facing financial turmoil after their playing days, but my guess is he is. I have a feeling he'll buy a house and be able to take care of his family for the next few years, but will need a job to make sure he gets by in the future. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.